Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. I think we are probably going to clear out these Riftborn. I think this should be doable. We seem to be quite a bit more powerful than they are, and my suspicion is they don't really have the Navy to stop even this initial push, much less the Behemoth that will follow once we have the ability for the Behemoth to follow. How many turns are we off on that? Okay, still 15. Still a really long time, actually. But we need to start thinking about victory. At some point, we're going to have to win this game, if we want to win this game. When I put it that way, it sounds so obvious. So we probably a Supremacy victory is not really on the table. That's a very slow and tedious way to win. Conquest, maybe. We're pretty far away, but we're building up our Navy now. We shouldn't find it too terribly difficult to just go on a spree. The beginning part of a war is always the hardest, right? Where you're breaking down your opponent's best initial resistance. A science victory, I suppose, is possible. An economy victory seems unlikely given how much money we've made so far and the fact that you now have to make quite a bit more money to win one of these than you did before. The wonder victory, I suppose, could happen, but honestly, I'm thinking we're far away from a conquest victory, but that may be our best shot. So, to conquering, then. We need to get our KE back up so that we can start potentially running Way of the Obsidian Eagle. I think that there's definitely something to be said for running this a lot more in the early game than we did. We're going to try out a very different style of start for the next game, and it's probably going to have this in it a little bit more. But for right now, my concern is just getting that active on, I don't know, Acellus or Gemini or something, so that we can produce warships more effectively. Don't really think we have anything else that needs doing this turn, so we're pretty much just waiting for the ships to arrive at Gano. Once we hit, the manpower of this ship should be more than sufficient, or the manpower of this fleet should be more than sufficient to overwhelm them, I think. What kind of garrison are we talking about here? 850 against a manpower of 1,000. Okay. We did this thing. We must break all ties with the past and reject all that remains of the endless. They were perverts and sadists, unworthy of our respect. This is the lesson that we will remember as we spread across the galaxy. Hey now, I'm not here to judge perverts and sadists. This is more than I wanted to say with this victory. But hey, we get our Roost Guard shield, and we get our 5KE, and we get attacked somewhere. Where is that? Oh, pirates, right. I was doing a thing, fighting pirates. Boy, I can't wait until this ship is done hunting pirates so that we can get back to the important killing.
I greet you in the name of the four families.
Down in the middle, I'm assuming? Yeah, okay, we briefly saw something at the end of that star lane. Let's fire this off and then continue on. So, we have some options now. We could move up here and try to wipe out Nihal and take it over ourselves. Try to grab Omdor as well. If we're talking about winning a conquest victory, continuing to expand is important, even though expansions are going to get more and more costly for us. Let's see, we got this kite. I don't think we're actually in danger from the Vodyani, so I'm wondering if the move here is to send the kite over to where it can be useful in the other war, or... No, we should just have a standing army on this side. Let's merge you guys up. A little bit more effective. You, I guess, can just send some probes out. Like, we don't actually have vision of all this space. Maybe there's something hiding in this tiny little pocket or over here. I don't really know what else to do with the scout ship. So here's my thinking. We gotta deal with the Riftborn, because the Riftborn declared on us, they started it. After we take the Riftborn, we probably turn our eyes this way. Not because the Vodyani pose any particular threat, or even because I don't like them, but just because, at their size, they'll probably be pretty easy to wipe out entirely. Then we can start thinking about the rest of this stuff. The Cravers probably have to go after that. The Unfallen are less likely to attack us than the Cravers are, and I'm worried that if we engage in too much war while the Cravers are still alive, they will come seeking weakness. And unfortunately, we may be in a position to provide. Alright, so here we can just start working on some new ships. Am I comfortable with the design of the Hawk right now? I wanted to keep it on bullet weapons. Yeah, this is probably an okay design for it. We might want to pull the reactive plating for shielding. Well, hold on. Can we see any Craver vessels? We can. So yeah, they're all energy weapons. Okay. Good enough for me. Pull the reactive plating for shielding. Part of the reason, the original reason I was thinking that is that the bullet weapons already provide defense against half of the types of projectiles, so... Not actually half, because swarm missiles are not too affected by bullets. Alright, so here's the question, do I just want to go? We could sit here and siege, but we don't have super great sieging abilities, and we do have quite a bit of manpower left in the Empire, like... They're going to be able to put their whole 850 manpower into the defensive battle, though. That's not amazing for me. How far are we from being able to afford the next tank upgrade? We're 29 titanium off, which is a huge number of turns of natural mining. And none of this stuff actually affects our ability to invade. Yeah. So we brought more manpower than they did, but I'm not sure how much we would win an actual battle by. And because of the fact that they're getting to put all of their manpower into each battle, every turn that we sit here and siege them, we are actually doing real damage to the outcome of the first round of the battle. It could be really significant. Then again, they have kind of a lot of manpower devoted to infantry, and we're all tanks. We probably have an advantage anyway. Let's try to just take it now. I'm kind of curious what'll happen. Is there anything? No, there's nothing that I need to do before doing this. So the game has them up slightly. I think we want to blitz to bring in as many of our troops as possible. Yeah, their reserve level, their manpower limit is actually 950. So yeah, we just blitz to bring in all of our troops. They do more damage to us, we do more damage to them, but not as much more. But our troops are so much better on the whole that I think this should go pretty well for us. I expect to see a victory here. Possibly a narrow one, but a victory. I guess, I don't know, do they have... Okay, yeah, they do have tractable armaments. They get to do a little bit of damage to us before the battle even begins. Fortunately, tractable armaments not super powerful against tanks. It's way better against forces that are infantry heavy. There's some weird phasiness going on in this battle that I don't fully understand. It used to be the troops would, attack each other simultaneously. The display of the battle is very strange. So they lost only about 100 manpower, and we lost almost 300. Yeah, that really didn't go well for us. Preemptive bombing, 750. Yeah, that did not go that well. Well, I do appreciate these more detailed readouts, though. That's very helpful. Well, we'll keep it up. We are almost... The system's almost within our... what do you call it? Our influence range here. And with our fleet here, we can actually get reinforcements as soon as we're inside our own influence bubble. I know it looks like we're floating in our influence bubble now, but the actual location of this fleet is the center of this system for the for effects like that. At least I believe that's the case. Everything that is at a system is calculated as being at the center of that system. So what do we want to do here? I guess we just want to produce some Hawks. Yeah, our real problem is titanium. We just need way more titanium. Do we have access to a law that boosts mining or anything? No, I didn't think so. So we need to get this up very badly. Hyperium. Hyperium is the only thing that is bottlenecking us from making even more and better warships. And then out here, similarly, we don't really want to spend anything we don't have to. These are relatively small gains, but they're still gains. And the magnetic field generator will actually be useful as population starts to spread onto Kionos 2. Right, over at Zubin, where we finished the kite. Here, influence actually does kind of matter. Being on the front of the Empire, we can maybe push against the Vonyani and be able to extract some concessions. And then, I guess, a National Museum. There are a couple of places in the Empire where we really, really would benefit from more influence. So the influence pressure is not quite enough with them for us to demand anything. I think that's the case here as well. Yeah. We're closing in, but we're not quite there. Alright, and we get ourselves a new hero. So a Hisho Guardian and Industrialist with 10% shield penetration. Very similar to our current hero, in fact. Maybe exactly the same as our current hero? I mean, that would be a fine military commander. And there is, at some point, we're going to have a second navy. A second armada, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the proper terminology is here. So here we have a Eusocial Overseer. I gotta be honest with you, I don't love Overseers. Efficiency Aficionado is fine. Clerical Corrections is okay, but, like, this... I find it's difficult to get to the last tier in the amount of time it takes to win a game. Although I guess a lot of the victory conditions have been slowed down, so maybe that's less of a concern now. Eusocials have pretty good skills, though. What's the other one? A Eusocial Guardian. So I guess the question is, really, do we want another commander or do we want a governor? Because if we want a governor, we should probably go this way. I think the answer is we want a governor. As much as I don't love Overseer. But you know, maybe even if we do want a governor, maybe it's better to go with this one. First rank efficiency aficionado is actually worse than second rank, and there are very few valuable governor skills in the second rank here. I mean, forced labor is fine. But eventually you get to this, which is awesome. And you get to pick up, like, Rousing Orator and Ultra Houseproud. Yeah, you know what? We'll take 8th of 15th of Carval. For the moment, install this one as a governor. I didn't actually look. What is your default skill? 10 defense per turn, so this is bad. But yeah, on the whole, I think pretty okay, and can be adapted into an admiral later, if need be. So you're going to have really no effect on the planet that we put you on from your base skill. What are we going to get out of your skill points? It would be cool if you went to a hot place, but also hot places are less in need of approval. Just put you somewhere where we need influence, I guess. Which means maybe Zubin? Yeah, sure. I'm still going to go Optimal Operations Expert first, but then we'll grab Hive Mind probably. Well, hold on. +5 per hot. Yeah, okay. Efficiency Aficionado, definitely not the one we want. Yeah, and this is actually a pretty good fit. We have enough population here to actually build stuff, but not... and to take advantage of Efficiency Aficionado, but the system's still in the early stages of development, and will really benefit from the buffs that we're getting from the hero. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm going to try to ignore Nihal. I'm going to send this kite toward the war. We'll deal with the pirates, eventually, when we have to. It would be really cool if our influence bubble would get over here and allow us to reinforce while we're on this system. because I do not want to have to leave to get my manpower back. And it looks like, actually, probably only 1 or 2 more turns until that happens. Alright, let's continue the ground battle. We are significantly under... Oh no, 735, okay. So we are not under our normal deployment limit, but I definitely think Blitz is the wrong approach to take now that we're so close to our natural deployment limit. We could go for a preemptive bombing, do to them as they do to us, except in our case it'll be slightly more effective because it will kill a larger number of actual troops, actual figures in the battle, which will reduce their damage output by more. It does mean that we contribute a lot fewer guys to the battle, and I'm not convinced that we will do enough damage to even these numbers out at all, but this does preserve as many of our guys as possible. This is a better, slow siege strategy. And we're definitely not doing a slow siege, but we do need to buy a little bit of time here. I do kind of wish our tanks were spread out a little bit more, that they weren't, inside of each other. Okay, so they did damage, but they didn't actually remove anything. What weird little tanks they have. The jumping is cool, I'll give them that. It seems like we're shooting at stuff, it looked like we destroyed something that was off-screen there, maybe? Well... yeah, this... watching the ground battles is not very helpful. So there, we dealt 748 with our bombing, they dealt 750 with theirs. But it looks like their total combined damage was well underneath ours that time. Yeah, that's really bad for them. They went Protect System, which is... yeah, that probably helped quite a bit. Remember, when they start to get desperate on manpower, they're going to start conscripting, but hopefully we'll have a bunch of manpower coming in as well. Reduce cheat costs during elections. Who needs to cheat? Just tell your people who's in charge. This sounds like a problem for one of the less civilized races. So Acellus was supposed to get to 89 food and 200 industry. I thought it had, but apparently not. So we need 1 food improvement. Or we need to send a point of population off somewhere else? Yeah. Let's send these guys to... hold on. There was some place that I was sending people to. Was it Zubin? Well, Zubin could certainly hold more bodies. Let's send a point of population to Zubin. Okay, that should complete this quest. I want my free technology. Okay, adamantium, useful. What planet type is that? Is that a Baron? Yeah, okay. We need to get Baron colonization tech. That'll let us in here as well. And Kairos is Baron. Yeah, we need that. We're pretty close to that, right? This is toxic. Yeah, that's actually a very small amount of science spending. Let's just get that done. After we finish this, we'll build a couple of colony ships. We'll get these 2 systems. We have a lot of stuff we have to work on, unfortunately. We just need more science. We're much more behind on science than I'm comfortable with. And who still needs orders? You still kind of need orders. I'm not actually sure what I want to do with you. There's a lot of space left in this part of the galaxy. I guess we could try to get over to here. We'll take the space-only route. No jumping to Pixis. And we'll throw a bunch of probes out here. See if maybe there's something anybody missed out there. And we do now have enough titanium that we could actually build some ships. We do have a kite under construction now. We have another kite headed toward Bonnie. I would expect if the Riftborn have much more in the way of military power that they would send it to Gano soon, right? They're going to be in a little bit of a position if they don't, I think. Okay, so I need to improve our fleet by a couple more points. Yeah, you know what? Plus 40% manpower refill rate on fleet. Sure. Let's try to keep that running. Okay, they have brought what looks like a behemoth over here to fight me. What manner of behemoth are you? You are a military behemoth with 47,000 health, 5,300 offensive power. Okay. I see what their plan is. Okay, we're now drawing directly from the, I'm still not clear on the numbers here. So now we're inside of our faction's influence bubble, and so we can draw on a lot more manpower. And I think from here we want to blitz. But this number is confusing to me. Like, why is the reserve what our fleet had before plus... Where were we? We were at like 500 something after the last battle? High 500s maybe? So it's that plus 1,100. Yeah, in that neighborhood. My point is, it's clearly not the full 1.8k manpower from our Empire pool, but it is way more than the 220 we have access to from Bonnie. I don't know, it's strange. So let's do a blitz, like I said. Just get everybody in there. Okay, so yeah, they're having to conscript people, and we destroyed their tractable armaments that battle. So the next battle is going to go really poorly for them. Provided, of course, that we're able to make sure there is another battle. So let's have a look at this. This thing has 47,000 hit points. They actually have us projected as doing about as much damage to it as it does to us. I have a hard time believing that. It's mostly projectile defenses, which is good for the kite. Not so great for everything else, but the kite is as powerful as, like, 10 other ships. And it's using energy weapons, so it would try to stay at medium range. We would end up hovering here at medium range. I kind of want to do this. Like, no, with 5,300 offensive power, like, we're definitely not going to do 47,000 damage to it. And we're going to lose our whole fleet, right? Maybe. I really wish we had gotten our military behemoth up and running and had used it in a battle or two so that I had a sense of how this was going to go before this happened. Will it have time to kill all of us? That's a question. Because if we lose this navy, that would be pretty bad. However, if we were to win this battle, it would be huge. So we probably want to go for Get Lucky rather than for Team Spirit, because I want to pull this thing to close range if I can. We leave the kite, and where is the knife? In this flotilla. We move the Kestrel to this flotilla, just trying to, I'm not going to try to use it to draw fire. I'm just going to make sure we have these extra flotillas out here. And then we're going to run all of the short-range ships in the short-range central spot. And man, I don't know. This could be really bad for us, but the upside of winning this battle is so huge. Alright, let's try it. And if we lose a kite and some smalls. They're definitely replaceable. Yeah, we gotta fight this. Also, it's worth remembering that retreating would cost us 10k, which is not a cost that I'm eager to pay at the moment. Okay, the other good news is that this thing is actually going to have a hard time shooting at our Kestrel, so we probably will be able to shoot for free from here, but I kind of wish that was the kite instead, in that position. Boy, that thing's impressive. It's doing some cool stuff. Well, good luck, us, all of our tiny, tiny ships. 47,000's a lot to get through. Whoa! Okay, apparently we're hitting some critical systems right away. Some big chunks of this thing are coming off. That's good. And I mean, it's doing good damage to us, but it doesn't actually seem to have that many guns. So it's going to take it a while to wear through all of these smaller ships. on a fleet-to-fleet basis, we are considerably out-damaging it. I wish there was a button for move down. I guess we have to, like... Yeah, I want to have this number a little bit more visible in the battle. So the medium ships are taking the medium ship is taking no damage. It'll never fire at the Kestrel. I think the Kestrel's not firing right now either, though. Unfortunately, forward, not an ideal firing arc. It's going to have to get over here where it can shoot from the side guns. Let's zoom the camera around here a little bit. Need this... Yeah, there we go. Need that number to become visible on this side of the ship. Okay, the Kestrel's getting some fire in now. Yeah, we are totally coming out ahead on this. We're going to lose probably that entire middle flotilla, but we got this thing down to a quarter already. And it's gonna take from the kite way worse than it gives. Especially, I believe, given the rest of the flight path. Well, never mind. The battle's almost over. But yeah, this was a pretty big win for us, actually. But to the point where I could probably just attack it again and finish it off, I think. Game's calling that a major defeat, but I really don't agree. I think it's just comparing the number of ships that we each lost. But yeah, we've got this. Alright, let's finish the thing. So, the right plan here is probably just stay medium. Yeah, unfortunately, Team Spirit's not a great battle tactic when you don't have a lot of ships. Yeah, just stay medium and do the thing. We don't really need to watch this, except that I want to see what happens when a behemoth blows up. I want to see how impressive that explosion is. Okay, an interesting camera angle from deep inside of the behemoth. This will probably be a good position to watch that from. I'm kind of curious how much damage we're going to take on the way to killing it here. It's gonna focus on the Kestrel first, because that's the Kestrel's job. I think it's going down already. Yeah, okay, that was an alright explosion. The debris drifting silently through the void is a reminder of a minor engagement where SB defeated Delta, during which 1 ships were destroyed. Concerning the military personnel involved in the action, the ships had no troops. Only pilots and crew perished in the assault. Again, some issues with the string builder there. That was 10 KE. We really did it, you guys. Good work. Probably way more than we would have gotten if we'd won the initial battle, actually. So our flagship is still alive. Kogo, our Brightblade, cannot be killed. Remarkably. I think we'll go for... Yeah, minus 10% upkeep on his fleet. And we're about to start being able to get the really, really good skills. Okay, I can modify my tactics set for free again. You can only do so every 10 turns, I believe. Okay, things in the rest of the galaxy are going well, and although we've got significantly less manpower in the air around Gano, we're able to run shuttles directly from Bonnie, it looks like, to drop off troops. So that's going to work out just fine. You need to get over here and defend us. And unfortunately, we're still really, really far away from being able to make our own military behemoth. Not quite as battle warping as I was afraid it might be. It's a big, powerful ship, but it just doesn't have the offensive punch that 10 command points worth of ships generally have. Also, somehow we're still not good on this Acellus quest. People are being born. Also, man, if we had a little bit more KE. We could build Denark University here. This would push us over. Well, let's get our brood ships out first. That's the thing we definitely need to do. Yeah, we'll fiddle with this in a minute. It's like we could pull a couple of people out from Uchi as well, maybe? You guys should probably stay there because you're on hot planets. You're not really helping us. And then, like, just... show everywhere. Trying desperately to get the amount of food consumed here down a little bit. Plus, Zubin does need population. Alright, obviously we just keep blitzing. We can throw manpower at this problem all day, and now that they no longer have tractable armaments, they're going to start seeing heavier losses. Yep, they're losing pieces of their system left and right. Okay, this is kind of cool. Found an uninhabited system, which suggests to me that the Pink Empire is not terribly huge. Let's just throw a couple of random probes out in the hopes of finding, I don't even know what, something. In the hopes of learning where some things we might conquer are. Alright, so we got our ability to colonize barren planets. We do need to stop putting stuff in the queue in front of our military behemoth, or we're never going to actually get the thing. And then with Gano being in our area of influence immediately, we'll be able to restaff our ships and stuff. Like, this is going to be good for us. Oh hey, I did it. Remember this thing? I totally didn't, but apparently I've done it. What is this? Okay, that's a random scout ship. So what do we want to do here? We have very impressive influence output, not that we really need it. Well, we should probably put together some big data shipyards. I suspect there will be some shipbuilding in the near future here. We should get our basic science structures up. The museum also makes sense now that we're actually able to maintain a level of KE that is reasonable. Like I said, just keep blitzing. We're always going to have more manpower than they will. Yep, they're breaking down. What do I want from you? She's on Bonnie, so a flat influence bonus plus a percentage influence bonus is pretty powerful here. Bonnie is going to threaten the entire Riftborn Empire before too much longer. And Brinya has picked up another world. We probably want to keep people on to Brinya 3 for the moment, just, you know, take advantage of that food as much as possible. And then some things that were not great are a little bit better. Just a little bit, though. Care about Kamos way more than I care about Heracles. This will be first. The Cravers have been making a lot of noise at us, and they are sending ships in. We're going to have this kite in a second. And I think we're probably fine. I'm a little more worried about what the Vidyani are doing. They have a lot of ships on our border. We need to get Nalin at some point here. The odds that they're going to settle behind us are probably pretty low, though. I guess I don't need to be too worried about that. Oh, my mining probe is available. I need to be making sure to send that out. Make sure we have as many ships here as possible. Oh hey, the Academy was discovered. And in fact, it apparently was me who discovered it. Also... No, sorry. I discovered the Academy. That's what it means. I was about to say, huh, somebody's already been here. Yeah, somebody has one of those good mining probes that lasts forever. Well, unfortunately, not a lot of curiosities to explore out here. We're just going to keep blitzing people right out of the Empire manpower pool. They're going to have to keep drafting until they run out of population. Multiple improvements destroyed per turn. I think that's new. I don't believe that could occur before. So yeah, they're going to fight me tooth and nail, make me actually burn this thing to the ground before I take it over. It's unfortunate. They're sending a medium ship over to threaten Bonnie. Obviously, Bonnie itself is in no danger. We might want to bail this guy out of there, though. Have him head to Dobrynia at the beginning of next turn. And we should definitely attack. It is not a good idea for us to let them amass units. So... we go for Get Lucky here. This thing's offensive power is basically nothing. In fact, it will almost certainly just retreat. Yeah. Well, I'll take that. That's another KE. Okay, it is Kairos, right? Kairos doesn't have any food, which is a little bit concerning, but that is an awful lot of science. Okay, yeah, so it's going to take quite a while for it to push up by itself. We'll keep an eye on the complete outpost cost. We may be able to buy... We definitely, for certain, will buy off the vast majority of those turns. Just a matter of seeing exactly how long we can wait. So now we're at 35 food here, which doesn't make any sense at all. Oh no, right, because we're sending food to the thing. Probably it doesn't need to be pulling food from Acellus. It could be pulling food from... probably not Bonnie, though. Yeah, Kionos is fine. Alright. We send one more unit of population out. We shouldn't have another birth this coming turn. Like, this should actually do the thing. That said, am I going to build Dinark University anyway? Should I... well, it's going to take a long time to build. I was going to say, should we just wait for this to be finished to get Living Plague done? But no, we definitely should not. I am going to build it, though. Right, what's Bonnie's theoretical maximum population? Yeah, it's lower. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to build it in Acellus. Okay, they're headed away from our system. What do we want to do here? Well, we actually have the industry to get a little bit of stuff done now. Yeah, build me some of this stuff. Actually, let's get another ship queued up. We have to keep producing even during times when it doesn't look like we need them right away, because we will need them at some point. And what are we going to build on Kionos? I guess this. Also, we may as well activate the Spin Project, because the next population point's going to be born here. Although also it looks like it won't be born for 8 turns, so I suppose this is fine. Yeah, alright, I don't know how many more turns Gano has. It's not going to be this turn, probably. Unless they choose not to draft people for its defense, which is possible. But I think we're looking at maybe just a couple more turns before it falls. Yep, we're winning major victories even in the face of active conscription, and our reserve manpower is tremendous. Apparently I've discovered protospores. So we did this, we got botanical scanning. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty good tech. After working out how to communicate with the aliens, you learn that their homeworld was attacked by a hostile race of extraterrestrials who conquer planets, quickly strip them of their resources, and then move on. The aliens were trying to reach a certain habitable system that would both provide a new home as well as a resource to cure their plague when their ship was attacked. Although they desperately want to save themselves, they're also concerned that if you don't deal with the hostile extraterrestrials quickly, they will move on to destroy other planets. I don't care about this problem. I don't mean to be, like, rude. Yeah, sure. Set up an outpost on the Hidel system. You know, I do love systems. And bombers are generally a better reward than fighters, so we'll help the aliens settle in on a new home and cure their illness before their nemesis arrive. Where's Hidel? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's extremely doable, actually. Very, very doable. Okay, and now we can pull food for this colony from Acellus. That'll be fine. And we'll just keep an eye on those. You know, they're going to develop as they develop, which is to say, slowly. I don't really care about our system development costs. We're probably going this way. You've read the reports, and it looks like luxury resource generation across all your systems is exceeding expectations this year. You can already anticipate the response from your advisors, though. The industrialists will advise you to quietly shore up the Empire's economy with the extra goods, while the religious contingent will want you to make a big show of thanking the gods for a bountiful harvest. Let's go with extra strategic resources. Again, we're still kinda having a bad time with our Hyperium generation. Alright, so this is gonna fall soon. It looks like these ships are probably just headed for Gano. Actually, that's right, we can see the intended destination of enemy fleets. So we can see that these guys are turning around. These guys are headed to Bonnie, and it looks like they plan to stop there. This is just some phantoms, though. Yeah, that's not really a concern.
You're one of our favorite fish in this galactic...
She had some important stuff to say, probably. The thing is, we're just so very busy. 6 more turns until Behemoth weaponization. I'm very, very eager. So do we want to produce even more colony ships and just grab this stuff right away? Probably not, right? We don't have enough food in the Empire to survive sending it to more than 2 colonies at a time. We are not particularly good at growing. What we should probably do is activate Way of the Obsidian Eagle now, although at 87k we would drop below the 85% threshold if we did this. Maybe what we should do is wait a little while until we get above 90, and then do it. Well, it looks like there is actually remarkably little out here. Who would have thought that deep space would not just be totally packed with interesting stuff? Alright, this could be the turn. And if not this turn, then next turn looks pretty good. We only won a minor victory there. We are destroying all of their improvements, which is a shame. I would love to actually, like, have some of that stuff. Also, nobody is allowed to be here. Okay. There's also a pirate fleet here. For some reason, some pirates showed up. I mean, fine by me. Let's kill them too. Not even a single point of K, not even a 1/10 of a point for that battle. What a shame. Alright, so we have access to some more food stuff now, which I guess we'll build in probably pretty much everywhere, right? So this is actually really great. We have a lot of luxury deposits to work with, and Colonial Exchange probably could be changed over to... Well, that's Hadar. We don't really need the influence here. Yeah, you know what? I'll leave that in place. Is there anybody else that needs orders? No. Also, I do hate to do this, but also we really need money. I'm in a real dire straight situation as far as dust goes. I hope they understand. Oh, actually, that's interesting. Why don't we head over there? The Vaulters have probably already seen this if they got all the way to Phaeton, but maybe not. Maybe we'll find that it is an unexplored, unexploited wilderness full of all kinds of free stuff for us. Unfortunately, it looks like the tooltip here says cost decreases with time. but it probably is that cost decreases with what would normally be outpost progress toward a colony, which means that those two systems are going to be unbelievably expensive to purchase for a really long time. Alright, there's a chance we get it now. They have no population left, so next turn is looking real good for us. Definitely going to keep buffing the influence output of Bonnie. It's going to be able to get everything over here within its area of influence. And 8th to 15th of Carval. Get you some Hive Mind. Yeah. Alright, Zubin finished our National Museum. Yeah, we can afford to go straight into intensive cultivation logistics and then pick ourselves up some more luxury deposits. It's a little bit late in the game to be really just starting to get your focus on population done, but better now, better late than never. Alright, I'm going to stop that medium ship right here. The Cravers are already making noise about killing us. I don't think that me blowing up their ship is going to anger them anymore. I think they're maximum angry at us already. And I would just like to get a kill. Also, we passed 90 KE, so let's activate the thing here. Plus 25% industry on some star system somewhere. Celis is not a bad pull. We could do it on Bonnie. Kind of want to get Denark University finished, though. It is fairly powerful. And also, we're getting the benefit of the aura part on Dobrynia and Bonnie and Hadar, which is pretty cool. These guys are headed to Bonnie. These guys decided to turn around. Nope. These guys started moving toward... Oh, yeah, okay. They are still headed toward here. I thought I was seeing them hitting Bonnie and then turning around. So I'm not really clear what they're doing with their ships. I want to bring the Behemoth back over to Bonnie. It would still affect Hadar, I think, and obviously Dobrynia as well, but then it would be around Gano, which might be useful to us. But if they're going to be parking ships here, we definitely don't want to do that. Having to retreat is really, really awkward for us. I think we're just going to wait things out a little bit. Alright, this should be the turn that Gano goes down. They have basically no troops, and they have no more people to press into the military. So you notice our reserve is now huge. So it looks to me like what happens is the influence aura generates a certain, adds a certain amount of manpower to the pool for the battle, and then it just keeps drawing out of the Empire's manpower pool infinitely until the battle resolves. So after this battle ends, I would expect to see our Empire manpower jump back up as the reserves flood back out of here. Really? They managed to survive. Okay. For the moment. Where's that? Oh. Yep. Well, that's a shame, because there's nowhere to retreat to. Well, give him hell, little peregrine. A retreat would have been shameful, in a way that we can't really afford right now, for economic reasons. So next turn, we'll have Gano. We're 3 turns off of weaponizing. Okay, this thing hasn't actually arrived yet. That'll be a real easy kill. Oh, right, this is a marker for the Way of the Obsidian Eagle. Fair enough. Alright, what do we need to build on Dobrynia? Quite a bit of stuff, I would imagine. May as well get the spin project going, and then... we don't really need to modernize here, I don't think. So after that, probably just food, right? Once the population's filled out the high industry planets there a little bit more, we'll want to build a shipyard, because that will eventually be a place where we build a lot of ships. Where are we at on our population boost, on our population bonus? We are 4 births away from having a significant reduction in ship cost, which I'm really looking forward to, actually. Also, there's going to be a quote-unquote election soon. Which is to say that soon I will have to tell the people once more, hey, we're still religious. Hey, I really love these Crimson Sisters or something? I honestly don't even remember who it is that my character is really into. Okay, hey, we did it. So, system captured. This is a little bit new. The Side Gano's fate. There's 1 Riftborn population currently here. No wonders. 4 improvements. I do not see a list. Okay. So, obviously, occupy is the way this has traditionally worked. But now we could subdue the system and its inhabitants. Military fleets orbiting the system will lose all remaining movement points. The system's manpower will be reset to 50% of its maximum. It will lose some stuff, and we just get to take a bunch of loot. I could see this actually being valuable earlier in the game. Right now, obviously, we want to do an occupy. And if we raised it, the system will be turned into a ruined wasteland. We'll lose population and buildings over time. So yeah, till we burn it till it's just uninhabited again. We're definitely going for the occupy. Alright, we'll suffer a decreasing penalty corresponding to the system's ownership. Things being spelled out a little bit more clearly, I always do appreciate that. And we're going to attack this guy and run him off. Seriously, get out of here. What are you doing? Did we get much KE for this? We received 13. Okay. We once again destroyed a ton of improvements on the way in. So what's left? What's still standing? A public-private partnership and their level 2 modernization, which is cool. That's a really good one. Because we're already immediately devoted because all of our stuff works in kind of a funny way. So, you know what? I think this is exactly where we want our 1 point of population. We'll get our drone networks up, and then we have all of this stuff. We can actually, oh no, never mind. I was going to say we could search some of this with our hero ship. But I did change out that module, didn't I? Well, we'll just throw it all on the pile, I guess. It won't take too long to work out. We want sustainable farms. I think I want this badly enough that I'm just going to pay for it. Let's get that down right now. And this should probably happen before this stuff does, because this will be 30 extra industry right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Once the people have adjusted to... Once that 1 population unit of Riftborn have adjusted to their new leadership, I think they'll find us to be very easy to please. Just do exactly what the weird bird gods tell you to do. That's all there is to it. So here on Hedar, I guess just even more growth stuff. And we'll build the Miners' Union. We don't need it just yet, but we will soon. So we don't really need the Citadel blueprints necessarily anymore. I'm going to make my Behemoth a military Behemoth anyway. Hey, you know what? The C3 Center is still a good idea. More ability to create Behemoths is probably worth having. But we need to grab Neural Robotics and Extreme Atmospherics. And you know what? The C3 Center actually requires some of that stuff to build. Yeah, 10 Adamantium and 10 Antimatter. So let's put this behind those mining techs. Alright, what now? Out of the blue, literally, a new miner faction has abruptly moved onto one of your planets and have no intentions of leaving anytime soon. Whether they are friendly or not is yet to be discovered, but hopefully their intrusion won't be long. It's up to you to decide how best to treat them. Hey, that's free workers. Not, in general, a good way to think about, you know, living beings, but workers is what we need. So we managed to get this down a tiny, tiny bit. I'm, like, very honestly considering just paying the huge payout to make one of those happen, because we are going to cap Katie if we gain any more. I'm thinking we could at least have that actually flowing into... we could actually get the advantage out of that. And if we're going to have a bunch more battles anyway, we will make ourselves back up to a reasonable level pretty quickly. I'm very nervous about dropping down to 27. That seems dangerous. If we're going to do it, we should do it before we attack this ship, though, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I know this is a little bit aggressive, but I think it's worth doing. Because this is going to be a pretty even battle. I'm going to register as a pretty even battle, so I'm hoping we'll get reasonable KD from it. And then also, we're still fighting the Riftborn. There will be combat with Riftborn. We got 1.4. That's not exactly awesome.
Friendship with you.
Yep, not a big surprise. The neighbors of the Cravers have been having problems with the Cravers and like it when we dunk on them.
Our purpose is to kill.
And obviously, I will not be refusing to attack your fleets. Every time I see one of your ships, it's getting blown up. That is my solemn promise to you, Mr. Craver. I've already forgotten your name. Usually I think we just say Craver. So... yeah, I don't know. I think that was fairly successful. It took a lot longer than I would have liked. And you have finally reached Yisa. So, the idea of this being unexplored is definitely seeming unlikely given that there are no curiosities here, and also that we can see Vaulter ships. I wonder where the Vaulters are actually from. I wonder if they're like from over here and this just represents expansion. I had assumed that they were on this side because Rassam has such a high population. It doesn't really have food-heavy planets. Boreal planets are fairly food-heavy, I guess. Man, I can't wait until we can turn this Behemoth into something a little bit more combat-worthy. Let's keep drilling that planet. For some reason, drilling out all of this sweet, sweet lava is making it easier for Ocellus to build the thing it's building. Listen, I'm not going to pretend to understand the construction industry. Sometimes things just are weird. Sometimes things are weird. That's all I have to say about that, apparently. Okay, Riled Researchers has ended. That's a little bit of a shame. I was enjoying all of that industry. I'm wondering if it's safe to pull dudes back from Gano now. Because we need to deal with this nonsense. They need to stop running through Bonnie. So let's wait here. We'll capture this guy, shoot him up with our terrible Behemoth, and then finally bring the force of this fully armed and operational battle station to bear. What's next? Placidus will probably go down quickly. If we could take Placidus, Pixis, and Omdor, then we could really focus. But we could also probably just crack their economy in half by taking Libra and gain for ourselves a source of Hyperium. So that might be the way to go. I'm gonna bounce this kite. I'm gonna have this kite head over. Oof, wow, that's so long. Maybe that's not worth doing because that is such a long flight. What would it take to build something on Bonnie? Yeah, let's do that instead. Right, because that's enough command points. Oh no, we still have a Kestrel alive here. Alright, so we'll be 3 kites, a Kestrel, and a hero ship in this fleet. I think that's fine. What's the buyout cost on that? Okay, never mind. Really, really high. We hit our 50-point Hisho bonus. Does this mean that I want to cut the species stability bill? Probably not, because we'd actually be negative on dust if I did that. That's really been the only thing keeping us, like, moderately solvent this entire time. Yeah, I think we should just go for Libra. Yeah, but if I do that, they're going to rebuild in other places. Well, I guess Pixis is already really established. Yeah, let's just go for Libra. Let's crack their empire open. We're going to have to wait until the ship on Bonnie is done, though. Alright, we're exploring a whole lot of the galaxy. Alright, so Zubin over here. Where do we actually want people? Honestly, Zubin 3 is not bad. Well, Zubin 3 after Zubin 2. You guys would like to be on a sterile world, you're just kind of out of luck there, unfortunately. And yeah, sure, we could use that. And we may as well pick up Interplanetary Transport Network. You know, it is just industry. Even if we're not going to get the good bonus anywhere. Alright, so how do we actually make use of this? Oh, sorry, that's right. We were researching Behemoth weaponization so we could get up to the point where we could do specializations. So the question is, do we want to pick up the Juggernaut specialization? Production of attack-oriented Behemoth-class ships is now possible in all shipyards of the Empire. Or do we want to go over here and pick up the Obliterator blueprint? I'm really curious about this. I don't know if this is actually going to be good for fighting. And if we're trying to hit Conquest, we probably don't want to be blowing up systems. We might try to do this next game, maybe. I think for right now, Juggernaut blueprints make a lot of sense. Or Juggernaut specialization, rather. That is a long research. I do really want it, though. So can we fiddle with this thing at all now? Cannot edit ship design. Ship design cannot be edited because you have yet to discover and study Behemoth technology. Oh! I didn't actually get Behemoth blueprints. We should maybe just throw that on the queue. Once I've done that, then maybe I can edit the thing. I'm surprised that tech from this era is still taking me 2 turns to research, too. That's not, doesn't bode super well for the state of our research. At this point in the game, to have to spend that much time on something that simple. I have been kind of screwing around, fiddling with new systems and stuff, though. We've certainly not been playing an optimized game. Kionos. Kionos doesn't really need the food that badly. Right, we're still having births. Well, no, those could be faster. God, we have a lot of luxury deposits. Alright, so I don't really want to wait 4 whole turns before moving on to the next attack. But I also don't want to show up shorthanded and get in trouble. Alright, I say let's take the video here until after we finish researching Behemoth blueprints. Then I can maybe make some changes to our Behemoth, see what we can do with it, and then formulate a plan from there. For now, we'll just sit around Gano and wait. Alright, everybody has orders. Obviously, this is a pretty safe attack. There's no version of this where they do anything other than run away. Except, oh yeah, they can't run away. And you... You should also randomly attack because we need to recover our KE. And forcing enemies to retreat is worth something. Not a lot of something, but, you know, something. Cravers are going to complain again. We're going to refuse to listen to them again. And we're starting to put a lot of pressure on this.
Our purpose is...
Yeah, they're gaining defense. I'm not really worried about it. Okay. Let's see what options exactly we have with our Behemoth now that I actually have the ability to interface with the Behemoth design. Our next observance gains 50% food. Kind of a strange thing to sacrifice population for. We've almost managed to cap out our Peace and Prayer Act. Honestly, I don't even know that we particularly need this. Maybe it is time to switch back over to militarists. We would lose species stability, but we did manage to get to our 50-point population bonus already, and we can figure out other ways to fix our dust problems. And Admit and Improve has done some fine work, but we have... Ah, man, it is nice to level up heroes quickly. We're so close to our admiral having the really, really good fleet skills as well. But at some point, like, the Spoils of War Act and the Deadly Intent Bill are both really valuable. Jingoist Joy loses a little bit of its value when you don't get any approval from it. I'm actually pretty torn here. Peace and Prayer Act is not really valuable to us. We're really beyond what we need from the Species Stability Act. Yeah, I think we're going to go back to Militarist. Also, it is actually the will of the people, which it counts for something. So we have the Spoils of War Act available, which we will definitely run. Yeah, we're not that much south of zero. Okay, so the Behemoth action on Dobrynia has completed. We are done mining. You get to get us even more influence. Thanks to everybody's combined efforts, there's a lot of science in the galaxy. We did not score, so we don't get any of the tiny, tiny rewards. So let's... Oh, what is this? A listening outpost on the far edge of your territory has picked up a garbled communication and sends an urgent message up the chain of command. Someone is leaking military secrets to a rival empire, and could jeopardize upcoming offensive operations. The message and its origins are unclear, but a digital forensics team is able to pinpoint one clue: that the attached files contain metadata originating from the terminal of an artillery officer of one of your minor civilizations. The soldier's record is exceptional, but there have always been those who complained at allowing an outsider to rise so high in military command. Well, this is no penalty at all. This is not really actually valuable, and there's a chance of something bad happening. Yeah, like, the penalty for refusing the trial is basically nothing. Let's just do that. I don't want a chance of a major political crisis. Take the officer at his word and order a more thorough investigation into the leak. But as soon as word gets around that you won't prosecute the man, a number of your military quit in protest. Coincidentally, the intelligence team reports the traffic they were monitoring has suddenly gone silent. But with no more evidence, it will be impossible to root out the traitor. Well, at least we stopped it, right? Oh, we discovered the rejuvenation field. Well, I guess that does tell us, roughly, the area that the vaulters are in. Let's send a probe down this way and send ourselves down that way. We are still getting KE from exploration and revealing new systems, so we're going to be back up to a reasonable value very, very soon. And let's have a quick look at you. Okay, so now I can fiddle with your design a little bit. I'm not able to actually pick a specialization, right? Because we haven't picked a specialization. Or we haven't researched one. But... So it's an economic behemoth right now. But it's not actually, like, specialized? Or is there a way to change specialization? None of these modules seem to be the thing. Yeah, I guess not. Well, once we have a proper specialization, we'll fiddle with it. So, we don't have a better version of this. We do have a better mining probe. We should definitely fix that. We can put a better gun in it, but only the... Well, no, we do have an extra weapon slot here. What would I want this thing to mount? Great big opal lasers, or maybe I want to try running something else in that spot. I'm trying to avoid having our empire be too reliant on one type of weaponry, for reasons that I've probably made clear a couple of times. Well, here, let's definitely pull the old engine for some new engines. This can probably go as well. We're not really having it hover around our stuff too much. Although, I guess I'm not going to feel comfortable attacking with it yet anyway. We probably don't want to run the Stellar Analytics. We could mount a really large advanced support module in it. Support siege module, rather. Because remember, we're at ×4 now on our modules. So this would actually strip 100 manpower per turn. Yeah, that's not bad, huh? Maybe we do this, and it's a siege vessel until we can arm it up a little bit more. And then we can have it be like half bullet weapons, half laser weapons. That's kind of not great. Yeah, we'll just go bullets. And throw some shielding on there. You replace the inert plating with reactive plating, which is better than inert plating. Yeah, I mean, this is a better ship, right? And now we're gonna retask it. It's coming with us to Libra. We got to be a little bit more careful on Libra because we can't get infinite manpower reinforcements, so we're going to have to actually wear the garrison down. And this thing is going to help a lot. Alright, well, I think that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. I think we're going to expand our lead over the Riftborn a little bit. And we'll see you then.